I'm a survivor. I will survive. I will survive. And I'm a firm believer. We'll forever shine just to stay alive. That simple means it. Nobody can hold me, man. Nobody can drain my energy. Nobody can hold me sick. I will let alone negativity. Nobody can hold me, man. Nobody can drain my energy. Nobody can. Nobody can. Everybody show me some strength. No weakness. Show me where I'm going. Strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. Strength. No weakness. Show me where I'm going. Everybody strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. That when you roll, your enemies they must tremble. Your enemies they must tremble. Yo, that when you roll, everything has to humble. Everything has to humble. I'm a go-getter. I just go hard. I just go hard. And I'm a kind of fella.
Are you fed up of your mask or your foggy face shield? Introducing the Fashion Shield from callallpronow.com. Keep your hairdo intact, your makeup flawless, and be fully protected. Get the Fashion Shield now. Call 516-387-4246 or visit callallpronow.com.
You gotta be firm in this time, son. You gotta be strong in this time, son.
Didn't realize I was stripping for everybody. This is not the kind of show for that. How the hell are you guys doing today? Welcome to the ride. Hello, Donette Cyrus. Donette Cyrus, how you doing? Welcome. Donette, how you doing? How you doing, Denise Plaza? How you doing, Denise Plaza? Hope you're doing fine. Joan Duncan, how you doing? Guys, as you come in, I want you to share the thing. All right? As you come in, I want you to share the thing. Yeah, share the thing, share the thing, share the thing. As you come in, just share the thing. Because today, it's Immigration Thursday. And yes, we got a lot to talk about. What are you asking for? Fun day? Hold on. Wait a minute. She'll be here soon. We share. 2 more times. 2 more times. And I'm also going to start a watch party. Hey, Shante, how you doing? Big up yourself. Natasha, how you doing? Big up yourself. Thank you so much. Share. Sylvani Noel. Sylvani Noel. How you doing? Big up yourself. Zap George. Zap George. All right. Hold on, guys. Okay. I did my part on my end. Now is your time to do your part, guys. Share the thing, share the thing, share the thing. Guys, today we're going to talk immigration. As you know, on Thursday, we want to talk and give and empower our community on everything they need to know about immigration, U.S. immigration. That's why we take a whole day to deal with this topic. Today we're going to talk about your green card, how to get a green card, how to keep a green card, and how to make sure you don't lose your green card. Yeah, a lot of people lose their green card. Your green card could get revoked, taken away from you, right? And if you have a green card, how do you become eligible to get naturalized? When I say naturalized, I mean to get your citizenship. All right? All of these things that we're talking about here today. No back and out today. Immigration stuff. Hey Pamela, how you doing? Big up yourself. I share. Hey Carmen Grant, how you doing? Hamelin Mary Show. How you doing? How you doing, Hamelin Mary Show? Yes. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Thank you, guys. So again, guys, I want you to lock in the number. Because this program is not about me just talking, not about Fun Day just talking and just talking about a whole bunch of stuff. It's about you. So I know that you might have a friend, or you may have a neighbor, or you may have some person that you know that always asking you this immigration questions. Like listen, you guys know my story. I share my story a lot. I've been living here. Someone been living here in the United States for X amount of period of time, and they feel like they have to dodge. They can't work. They can't work legally. Yeah, I put that in quotes. They can't work legally, right? They can't travel. They can't go on a vacation. They're just here, and they absolutely can't vote. So they're living like in Wonderland. They don't have any representation, and they're saying to you, "Well, hey, good evening, dog. How you doing? I wanna change my status in the U.S. I wanna change my status. How do I do it?" Before we bring in Fundy, I gotta share with you guys my quick story. So I came here when I was 16 years old, right? I was 16 years old. Don't do the maths, okay? Don't do the maths. It's a lot. I'm very old. Hey, dog. Yeah, big up yourself, Vincy. So when I came here, unlike a lot of people who came to the United States, I didn't come here as a legal permanent resident. I came here as a visitor. I was inspected at the border. I came to JFK, and I was given, bam, stamp, 6 months to stay in this place called America. I mean, I was kind of young still, right? But anyway, we decided that we're going to stay here. So the road for me wasn't as rosy as a lot of other people. I mean, some people that I know, they came to the United States with their green card. And that's very possible. There are people that their family file for them and they come up, or they get married and they come up and they're documented. That was not my story. But get this, 16, 17, when I came up, I had to go to school, right? Because then all my family was living here. There was nobody back home. So I had to assimilate. The problem was the road to getting a green card would have been, and is, at that point in time, a very difficult road for me. So anyway, I'm sharing all of this story because Fonde is going to put the icing on the cake a little bit when she comes to talk about green card. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from 16 years old, I lived in the United States for approximately 8, 9, maybe 10 years. Terry, Terry, I need a haircut. Terry, I came by you the other day, you're not there. Terry said, I'll give you that key today. No, I'm sharing you guys my story, my green card story, Terry. So anyway, I came here and I lived here for 10 years, guys, before I made any attempt to get my green card. So could you imagine living here for all this period of time? One of the most destructive and worst possible thing that ever happened to me within that within that time, guys, yeah, my father died. Yes. And a lot of people experience that. My father died and I could not go back home to be a part of the funeral. Because why? I did not have a green card. It was embarrassing because it's not something that you talk about. You go to school and nobody know your status. All you know that you are different than everybody else. When somebody say they're going on vacation, you have to make up thing and say, yeah, I went on vacation too. Lord knows, you probably only went to Connecticut or New Jersey. Long story short, guys, at one point in my life, I decided I cannot live like this anymore. Nah, it was difficult. Can't do it. So I decided to learn about the process of how I could get a green card. I went to college after high school, right? Doug, that's your story too, Doug? A lot of people have the same story. So I went to college. And when I went to college, funny thing is, because I didn't have my green card, I didn't have my work permit or nothing like that, I had to pay more money for admission. So my tuition was higher than everybody else's tuition. I couldn't work nowhere. So, I mean, I was forced into just, I don't want to say hustle, but hustle, not drugs or anything like that. I did media, all these different things, just so that I could survive. Me and my partners, we started companies, all because I just could not seek employment. Now, not having a green card in a place like the United States, ladies and gentlemen, it's hard. It's difficult because you feel like an alien. You do. You feel like, for me, I felt like I was like a rat in a trap. I felt like there was nothing that it's like my life wasn't going nowhere, no place. Now, there's a lot of people, a lot of friends that ask me, so how did you get your green card? That I'll say for a little bit later when Fun Day comes in. What's the status with the embassy with people who is waiting on their papers? Good question, Teresa Davis. Fun Day is going to be in shortly, and then we'll pose that question to her. But guys, what I want to tell you guys about my story, which is similar to a lot of other people's story, is that it's not a bed of roses. I mean, I had to do odd things, like not drugs. I never gravitated to that, but like work on well, not on the books, but I don't want to say that word. Next thing, oh Lord, I expose myself. I expose myself too much. Yes. It is. You feel like a rat in a trap. You feel like a rat in a trap, and you're not going no place. You're not going nowhere. So when I decided to get my status changed, it was a journey, because again, it didn't start out where I could say, okay, this person could just easily file for me. The process was a lengthy process. So when I see people, friends of mine, that I go to Brooklyn and I see and they ask me about this, and I'm looking at them, and some of them have been living here in the United States for 15, 20 years, longer than I lived in the United States. And a lot of them have not up to this day obtained a green card. And it's sad, right? So that's why we do this program here. That's why Fun Day comes on with me every Thursday, so we could talk about immigration and empower our community. Because it is not easy to be here, not able to work on the books, not able to travel, and feel like a pig in a pen. Can't go out. Here's what I want you guys to do for me right now. Seeing that I shared part of my story, and we have 5 more minutes before Fun Day comes in, I want you guys to call me up and share a little bit of your immigration journey here in the United States. Let me do that now. 5 minutes. Let me know your immigration journey here in the United States. I was listening to a story just the other day. By the way, that's the number on the screen, guys. If you could pin that number for me, if you want to call in and share your journey here in the United States in getting your citizenship. You don't have to identify yourself. You don't have to give your name or nothing like that. All right? We just want to hear your journey. I was listening a story from a young lady who came here in the United States at the age of 3 years old. right? She came here at the age of 3 with her family, and she is about 35 now. She is what is called a dreamer. And from 3 to 35, up to this precious day like today, she have not and is not even eligible to receive a green card. She's what they call a dreamer, right? And the new bill, the bill that is being implemented, the bill that is being introduced by the president right now, will help a lot of people who came under that similar circumstance. You came here as a child, you came here at the age of 3 or 4, brought here by your family. You had no authorization. You was a baby, you was a child. You're living here in the United States, and it's DACA, right? So folks understand the term DACA, right? They're living here, and every 2 years, all they have to do is get stamped, and they have no green card. They can't travel. They really don't have a status. But if anything were to go sour, they could get deported, and they could get deported back to the country that they never lived. They don't even know. They never lived in that country. They never lived in that place. They left there when they was 3 years old. I know some other friends, some other stories, some horror stories. Mine was the hardest part for our struggle you face while trying to obtain your status. Call us up, guys. I'm telling you, we have 5 minutes, 3 minutes before Funday comes in. I want to hear some of your immigration stories, guys. Again, you don't have to identify yourself. You don't have to tell me your name. I want to identify you. Zap said I say green card was given away here. I thought I could get one. Yeah. And you know, a lot of things that people, there was a lot of fraud. I remember there was a lot of fraud. There was a lot of fraud because I remember people was telling you that you could pay X amount of dollars and get on the visa lottery, the visa lottery thing, only to find out you pay that money and then it turned out to be a scam. I vaguely remember, guys. At one point in time, we got a call, right, by someone. We don't know if it was fake or if it was real, but we didn't take it lightly. Somebody called our phone and told us and said to us that I know that there are people living in that apartment where we live that don't have a green card, and immigration is coming for all you. I don't know if that person was trying to. We don't know if that person was trying to be malicious. We don't know if it was real. We don't know what it was. But all we heard, the person said that I know there are people living in that apartment, and immigration coming for all you. Boy, ladies and gentlemen, you talk about flee, because we was frightened and we didn't know. We thinking that immigration is just gonna come and just open the door and take everybody and deport them and send them back the next day. We didn't know about this thing. We didn't know about the laws as it relates to deportation. We didn't know. We had to flee because we didn't know. We didn't have any access to information as it relates to law. So we just live in and we hear immigration coming, ICE coming, or whatever the case is. You get frightened, you get scared. Maliciousness. I was very fortunate because my parent came and sacrificed for us. But I empathize with the struggle. It was a journey. Funny, I'm here just babble.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good. I love it.
Yeah, I am just here. So Funday, I'm going to give you an opportunity before we start. I want you to tell us your immigration story.
Oh.
I'm putting you on the spot.
I love it.
What's your immigration story?
First of all, my apologies, Junior, for being late.
That's fine.
I was in another interview. You know, the interviewing your girl. Or,
I got you. You like it. You got MSNBC on us.
Listen,
CBS on us.
speak it into
Hey,
existence this
hey.
evening. Speak it, speak it, speak it. Happy Easter, everyone. A pleasant Easter to everybody. How's everybody doing?
We're
How's
doing.
everybody doing? Juno, my immigration story. You really want to hear that?
I kind of want to hear it.
So I always, so my mother is the hero of my immigration story. I
Right,
don't want to take credit for anything I've done or anything I've accomplished
right.
um, without talking about my mom. So my mom was the one who got, everybody knows this, the visitor's green card, the visitor's visa. You
Yeah.
know how you go into the city and you go to the embassy and you apply for the visa. So my mother was granted a visitor's visa. My dad didn't go because at the time I'm the last of children. So somebody would have to stay back for the children. And I don't know if they would have given them both a visa. So my mother got a visitor's visa and
Uh-huh.
I was 13 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So she left for New York and she told us she was coming back. She was like, "Oh, I'm just going for 4 months or six
Yeah.
months or something like that." She said she was coming back. And I remember my sister and I, we would mark, you know, back then we had our own calendars. Remember,
Yeah.
you have your own calendar, you write everything on it, and we would mark the calendar. And when it was time, the 6 months came. So she came in April. So it would have been April, May, June, July, August, September. She never came back.
Oh.
She never came back to Jamaica. Yeah.
Hmm.
She never came back. So the next time I saw her, I was probably 19
Oh, wow.
and a mother.
So
So I
you were
had,
your mother.
yes, while she was gone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting
Yeah.
stuff.
hmm
So were you one of the fortunate ones that came to the US with a green card? Because I didn't have that story. My story was not. It was difficult for me.
I am one of the fortunate ones. And people, you know what? That's funny, Juna, because people always ask me, why are you always fighting for immigrant rights and why are you always pushing so hard? I pushed so hard because I was one of the fortunate ones. But I also remember my mother's story. Like, we would have family members that die and mommy couldn't come. And I never fully understand why. Like, mommy not coming to the funeral? She couldn't come. Like, when I was giving birth to my daughter, she couldn't come. And so I think I always wanted to know why. So I did come into the country with a green card. Yes, I did.
Mm. Mm.
Yes, I did. But I think over the years, like back in my early days in New York, like my friends would say to me, "You don't get it," like because they had come to they had come to the States without a green card.
Yeah.
So they would say to me like, "Oh, you don't get it. You
Yeah.
don't get it." I'm like, "Don't take anything away from me because I think," and sometimes I don't get it, right?
Right.
But I've had,
I understand when they say you don't get it. I understand.
you understand what they mean.
Yeah, because that was my reality. My reality was I came here um, with a traveler's visa, and
hmm
we decided to stay. Everybody else
hmm
was here, and it was difficult because for years, Funday, for 10 years going, I never could have worked.
Wow. Not even under the table?
Well, and I guess that's what made me feel like I just don't want to work for no one because I never worked, and I just felt like I never want to work.
hmm
So I guess it was fun in disguise. I never had I never went through the process of having like a fake social security or anything like that.
hmm
Um, and I didn't have the desire to. I was scared, but I still
mm
built like businesses. We had a Time Plus Beats, we had production companies, so I was
Okay.
always in that driving seat, but I never was employed. I don't.
hmm
I never was really employed at like you say, you get a W-2, you work for someone. I never, to this day, worked like a nine to
mm
five.
hmm
Even after I got my green card, I never worked. So it was always me on the hustle,
hmm
right? Simply because of that reality. I lived here for so many years, and my father died, and I couldn't go back. That is a
Ooh.
difficult thing, right?
That's a
That's
reality of many, Junior. That's a
yeah,
reality of
yeah,
many.
yeah. So that happened, and that again, everything happened for a reason because now I'm doing this services, and now when I'm streaming services, I think about what I didn't see what I would have liked to see if I was at my father's funeral, and I present that. So it all worked out. I guess if it didn't happen like that, I would have never been so passionate about Ride Along and immigration and all of these things. So it happened. It all happened for a reason.
Exactly. And I think it's the same thing with me. My passion is I want kids to see their mom.
Yeah.
I just want children. I was fortunate, Junior, where I had a very strong dad. So no, Doug said he bought a fake social for $200.
Good Lord.
Doug, take down that, please. Take it down. Take it down.
Too late.
Doug, take it down. Oh my God.
Where is sell that at?
They used to, even in corner stores back in the day. It was common. When I lived in the Bronx in the 90s, you could.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's not for us, guys. If you want to share your story, we're gonna keep your phone lines open. But Funday, let's talk immigration. Let's talk green card.
Yes.
Right. Let's talk green card. What is big in the immigration world as it relates to green card?
So there's so much going on. I'm drinking water because I'm so thirsty.
Go ahead, drink away.
There's a lot going on in the immigration world. The big thing for the Caribbean community, Junior, I think we should do a show on dreamers.
Yes.
Because the more I talk to Caribbean folks, the more I realize how many people would have qualified, how many children would have qualified as a dreamer that didn't apply. And that bothers me.
Right.
That bothers me because remember we talked about the big immigration bill, Junior, how
Yes.
Okay, that bill has been cut up. It's like they took a scissors and cut out. Yes, and two pieces come out. Two pieces come out of it. Farm workers and dreamers. That's the two that's moving through. In fact, the farm workers and for the dreamers, that passed Congress last Thursday night when we were on the show.
Yes.
That just passed last Thursday. So the big bill as it was presented that you and I spoke about,
right?
That is not the bill that's going through because they cannot get it through the Senate.
So they took pieces and they just piecemealing pieces together. Wow.
Yes.
Right.
And farm workers is a big one, and the dreamers.
So let's talk about farm workers. Let's talk about farm workers and who is identified as a farm worker.
So everybody growing up, you should remember this. I see Anthony Barrett, he's Jamaican. In Jamaica, we would have, those people that come up and work on farms, but there's a classification in of visa for them, and they're H-2B workers, right? So those individuals that maybe came up on a farm workers visa and never returned,
right,
they would qualify. And of course, it requires that I think you would have worked 1,800 hours. There's some hours in it that you would have worked, must have been present in the United States on or before January 1st of 2021. So those individuals are the ones that are for the farm workers, and they would be able to get TPS, temporary protected status, then move on to a green card. So they're really big on protecting the farm workers.
Okay. And dreamers. We talk about dreamers a lot. We spoke about it before, but I think, as you said, we need to do a whole show on dreamers. Just go back to layman's term, like if we never spoke about it before. Who are dreamers?
So dreamers are children that were brought into the United States through no fault of their own by an adult, meaning somebody sent the child to New York. So long as they were present in the United States, there are some requirements, right? One, they would have been present in the United States before June 15th of 2012, right? Anybody you know as a child that was here between June 15, 2012, if they've attended high school or a GED program, we want to make sure they don't have any in a DUIs. Even if you have a DUI, still talk to a lawyer. It's possible that you could potentially qualify. So you have dreamers. Most dreamers are now 30. The oldest dreamers are probably in their 30s. But even if you didn't apply yet, Junior, you can still apply. As of last December, they've reopened the application process for dreamers, so you can still apply. You're not getting a green card as it stands, What you're getting is a work authorization, which is huge. You're getting work authorization, and you're also getting social security number. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot travel. If you need to travel, you'll need to get travel separately.
Oh wow. So I was sharing a story that I heard earlier about a young lady who was speaking about being a dreamer, and she's a lawyer now. And it was a very, very, very passionate story she was telling. Almost brought us to tears on your platform over there on what's the name?
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, right?
Hmm.
So a dreamer came here when they was 2 3 years old. They lived here all their life. America is all that they know, and it's quite possible prior to whatever ruling and laws that came into effect, they could have gotten deported
Yes.
and sent
Yes.
back to a country that they never lived in. They don't
And
even know.
and it's not even could have. They were. We have Dreamer prior to 2012. We had individuals that were placed in deportation and removed to countries where they left when they were 6 months old. They don't speak the language. They don't understand the culture. They were there, and that's what led to President Obama in 2013 working with the administration back then to come up with what we now know as DACA.
Yeah.
Evening Spice.
Yeah, guys, we're talking here about immigration. As you know, Thursday is all about immigration, and we want to get your questions, your stories as well. We opening up the phone lines. We have some again. We have some very interesting conversation that we're gonna have on green card. But here's a question that just came through on the text. This person
Mhm.
says, "Good afternoon. I'm asking a question. If someone get arrested for doing something wrong, and I speak them up, and they win the court, and I want to know if they could get any citizenship because they have their green card, and if that person can travel."
All right. So if once they have been released by ICE and once you've gone before the judge and the reason that you are picked up has been resolved, then you should just go back. It should go back to normal. I would still say go ahead and apply for naturalization. And it all depends on what you mean by ICE pick them up and release them. Because remember, ICE can detain you, you get bonded out, so you're out on bond, but you
Right.
still have to go before the immigration judge. So I'm very cautious to say yes, you can travel. I would have to see where, you've been released, the judge has dismissed or what we call terminated the removal order. I'm looking for the court to have terminated the proceedings before I tell you to go ahead and travel. Because, Junior, you know this, you can get bonded out. Just like how you get bonded out of jail, it doesn't mean the charges have been dropped. It means you're out on bail, but you still have to show up to the court. Same thing with ICE.
Hmm. 718-701-5720, guys. This is your show. I can't stress that enough. This is your show. I want you guys to text in, call in, and ask questions as it relates to your immigration situation, right? 718-701-5720. We much prefer if you call, but if you can't call, you could always text or put it in the chat and we'll get to it. All right, someone asking a question. Let me see if I could summarize it here. It has to do with their they okay. So they were married for some reason, and they had a 2 year stay, and they're trying to get a permanent status right after that. And the process was that the immigration service write them back and tell them to provide proof that relationship existed. Is that a common thing? And how could you prevent from getting into that where they're seeking additional information and slow down the process?
Sure. So, what we're talking about is the removal of conditions,
Yes.
meaning when you went in first for that green card interview, you were married for less than 2 years. So, you were granted what we call a conditional green card. In our community, we call it the 2 year. Let's just use it. You get your 2 year green card. What that means is that um, 90 days before that green card expires, you have to file a petition with the government to say, look, I know you gave me a temporary green card, and now you want me to show that the marriage was real. That's all it is. What they've
Right.
done is put your green card on probation because they
Right.
want to make sure you did not enter into this marriage just to get a green card. So they put some time on the green card. What you have to do so if you got your green card today, it's a 2-year green card,
Right.
start collecting documents. If you go on a trip, if you go Aruba, collect documents. If you go to Puerto Rico, collect documents. Those bills, you bought furniture together, you bought a car together. I always tell my clients, get a shoebox, like an old shoebox, and
Uh-huh.
just start throwing stuff in it, starting from the day you walk out with that 2-year green card. What that does is by the time it's time for me to file that application for you, I'll have a stack this big, Junior. Can you see my
Hold
hands?
on. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, there you go. There your hands go.
I'll have a stack this big of proof that covers the entire time frame of the marriage. What I
Right.
find with people is that they get frustrated because they didn't do any collection and they forget what they've done. And a lot of times in the junior, people have the evidence, but
Uh-huh.
they haven't been collecting it and now they're frustrated. It's 90 days before and it's time to get all these documents together. So what we do is I say to you to avoid any frustration, just start collecting paperwork now. If you go to somebody's wedding, they invited you to a wedding,
Yeah.
keep the wedding invitation that was sent to you and your spouse. Keep that as proof. If you take a trip, keep the airline tickets. You renewed your lease, keep one copy for yourself and one going in a green card file in that shoebox that I
Mhm.
talked about. One goes into that. So there is definitely ways to avoid it. Worst case scenario, you will get an interview. I don't like the interviews, but it can be done. It just means that you haven't really met your burden. And
Right.
I and ICE, we were talking about ICE, and the agency wants to ask us a couple questions. They
Okay.
want to make sure, they want to lay eyes on you. Is the marriage still valid? They just want to go through that to see you know if it's a real marriage.
Okay. We have a question from Carisha Davis. She said, "What is the status with the embassy with people who is waiting on their papers?"
Carissa, that is a phenomenal question. If you guys have been following this show, you'll remember that last year there was that travel ban that the former president, the former administration put into play. Remember, some of that travel ban is expiring. Is today the 31st, Junior?
Yeah, today's the
Yesterday.
first.
Yeah, so yesterday, a lot of the travel ban expired. Remember, the president hadn't done anything with the travel ban. He just waited for it to expire. So March 31st, a lot of it expired. So it's good news and it's bad news. The good news is that now the consular post will start processing applications. The
Yes.
bad news is that they're backed up. They're backed up.
Yes.
So it's going to take a little bit of digging out because remember, the travel ban started, was it March of last year, April? Right after COVID, I know the president put in this travel ban on certain relatives of US citizens and lawful permanent residents, excuse me. So that travel ban, they kept extending it, extending it, extending it. And now it expired yesterday. It was not extended, but you still have to give the US consular posts that were locked for months, they were closed for months, and you have to give them a time to kind of start digging out. I have been getting emails in our firms. In our firm, we have been getting messages that NVC,
Hmm.
they're starting to process applications. They're sending applications now to a lot of the consular posts. So we're excited. We're getting interviews, things. I see movement. It's slow. It's slow, but I do see some movement.
Okay. All right. Question here from Dessa Forsyth. She's saying a question here for a friend. If your parents petition for you and the process of tracking your document, they realize USCIS is reviewing your case, what does that really mean?
Meaning there's no visa available yet, number one. Meaning the application might have been submitted and USCIS is actually reviewing it. It's administrative. It's just administrative. I think it might be an administrative thing that they attach to case files when they're literally opening it up, physically looking at it to make sure that everything you've sent in is valid. It might mean they're ready to move on it. There's so much depending on where the case is, but
Okay.
it's not a bad thing.
Okay. All right. I had a question. You spoke about the travel ban that expired yesterday, March 31st.
Mhm.
Did any green card holders, were they barred from coming into the US if they was in those countries as well?
So we had a couple, like under Trump, there were so many travel bans. We had the Muslim travel ban, Junior. That was one thing that was lifted the moment President Biden came into office. We also had like what I want to call the COVID travel ban. If you
Uh,
recall, the former administration had placed not a ban but restrictions on the processing of, like, say if I have a green card and I'm filing for my husband who has a green card, they
right.
were placing what we call restrictions on travel,
Yes.
because they didn't want he claimed it was COVID and he didn't want people outside of the country to come inside of the country to take jobs. Initially, that ban was set to end December of last year. And it included like our J's. Remember our J students that we talk about, our summer work study students? A lot of them found themselves not banned. It wasn't a ban, but it was a restriction.
Right.
And so that was going to end in December. Former President Trump, extended it to March 31st of this year. And so when President Biden came in January, we were all saying, hey, lift the restrictions. And he didn't lift the restrictions. What he did was he just allowed it to run and expire. So we should be seeing some movement on some of those applications now.
Okay. Hold on. I just sending a number here. Someone was asking for the show number. Again, guys, this is your program. We designed this program here for you. 718-701-5720, because you only have about 16 more minutes left, 17 more minutes left in this program here today to ask your questions. As I always say, guys, Deanna Winterfunde is an immigration lawyer. She's no fly-by-night lawyer. She's experienced, right? So if and when you have any immigration issues, you know who you got to call. This lady right over here. Right there. Yeah, right there. Right there. See her right there? See her right there? The Jamaican family there? That's who you call. Diane, give them your information again. Because I want them to write it down. Don't write it small, write it in big black letters and stick it on your fridge. Give them the information, the website, whatever, however you want them to contact you.
So it's www.winterimmigration.com. www.winterimmigration.com. Or you can call our office at 813-815-3529.
Right there.
813-815-3529. I'm just laughing at Zaf George. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we got a caller on the line. Caller, you live. Where are you calling us from?
Junior, this is Doug Howard. I'm calling you from Brooklyn, New York.
Doug Howard, how you doing, my brother?
How you doing, Fundy?
Good evening. How are you, Doug? Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, well, Junior, I am so glad for this immigration program that you have on a weekly basis, because, I tag a lot of people, because one of my thing is, Junior, I never scared of, like I say, you've been telling my story, come without no green card, come at a very early age.
Yes.
Except I didn't really care too much I didn't scared about immigration, because I always figure I have somewhere to go back, because all my family was back in the island, only I was here in this country. So I never have no fear.
Right, I see.
I guess that's why I take that route.
Right.
But anyway, long story short, I got a lot of friends and who are involved in this, that came up from the islands, some from St. Vincent, some from Trinidad, some from Barbados, but they're all one family.
Right.
And some of them is here, and they're glad for this immigration bill, because I got my green card under Ronald Reagan and his
amnesty.
Amnesty. I got mine out.
Right.
And I filed for it myself. I didn't go to no lawyer, nothing like that. But by that token, I had somebody help me do some research on it before I did it anyway. But you really need some legal help, especially if you have any legal issues around that. But that's another story.
Yes.
But what I want to say, Junior, is that this program is so educational. That's why I'm sharing it with all of my family members who I hope is
We
looking at
appreciate
it
that.
and then just taking it because this is a program to help them.
Yes.
And I would love for them to don't chop up the bill no more and make it, because sometimes the bill start in one form as fun they said, and it wind up to be something that you don't want it to be.
Yeah, true.
So I am hoping that it go in the form it was, because we have so much people, and when you talk about deaths,
Yeah.
so much people family die,
Yes.
brother, sister, aunt, uncle, and they cannot go.
Yeah.
It's a heartbreaking thing. So thank you for the program. Just want to say that.
Thank you, Doug.
I'm retired now, so I'm retired, so I can travel anywhere I want to go on a US pass.
That's good.
Have a good
I love it.
Thank you so much, Doug. We appreciate you. We
Thank you,
appreciate
Doug.
you. Again, guys, 718-701-5720. Spice Baff is asking, did the immigration bill pass? Before you answer that question, hold on, Funde. Before you answer that question, let's take the caller on the line. Caller, you live.
Good afternoon, Junior. Good afternoon, Miss Fundy.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Okay. My question is, right, in relation to applying for a green card, right? Well, I'm giving you a scenario. Came to the United States on a visitor's visa, overstayed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Overstayed, working, but working and paying your taxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got married, and now you want to file for a green card. Your spouse is a citizen, and I think you all was talking one time about something about in eligibility or the 245I or something like that. If you could give some more details on that for me, please.
Right.
All right. Okay. So in that case, caller, I love your question because it tells me that you're either consulting with a lot of lawyers or you're doing your research. 245I is for individuals that have no legal entry. So you came into the United States, and I forgot the year. I think it's like 98 or 1999. I'll look up the date for you while they ask. So you came to the United States, but you had no legal entry, meaning you were not admitted, you were not inspected, you were not paroled. So you just kind of came across a border, or maybe you came on a what we call Bandulu passport, and now you're married to a United States citizen, then you can potentially adjust under 245I.
Mm-hmm.
Because the caller is using statutes, I'm going to say, because you entered lawfully, you can adjust under 245A, and you would not have to worry about 24. I use 245I to save clients when I cannot prove how they entered the United States. So instead of doing the waiver, we go look to 245I. But caller, to answer your specific question, you entered lawfully, or the person you're asking for, they came in on a visa. You don't have to worry about no 245I and no waiver and no nothing, because you entered lawfully, you married a U.S. citizen. You don't need to worry about that.
All right, caller. All right, okay, caller, hang up. All right, cool. To Spice Baffy question, did the new immigration bill pass?
No, nothing. So Spice, what we did, so we remember the big immigration bill, the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021, that was proposed by the Biden administration. I want to say early to mid-February. The bill as proposed was super comprehensive, Spice. It was going to give all 11 million undocumented individuals in the United States. Good night, Sylvanie. It was going to give all individuals a pathway to a green card.
Yeah.
So long as they were here before January 1 of 2021. The bill as proposed, I think what they realized, what the Biden administration realized, this bill was not going to get anywhere. We'd have gotten it past the House. We were not going to get it past the Senate because we know we need 10 Republicans to sign off. What they've done with the bill, Spice, is they've taken a scissors and they're cutting pieces of it out. Doesn't mean the bill is dead. It just means they're pushing the two parts, for one for dreamers and the other part for farm workers. Those two bills, and they have passed the House. They're making their way to the Senate. So nothing has passed yet, Junior, as far as whether people can start filing for anything. No, nothing has passed.
Right. What about the other pieces of that big bill, like the part where undocumented can no longer be called aliens? All of these other little pieces that was inside that bill. Is it still on the table?
Those little pieces are still on the table. As an advocate, Junior, I can tell you, I am not even, call us anything, just give us a green card. That's my philosophy, right? I'm not worried about what they want to call us. I'm worried about making sure that bill that speaks not only to farm workers and dreamers, I want to get that passed, right? I want people outside of that, those people that have been here, like the caller was talking about 10, 15, 20 years, and they're not a farm worker and they're not a dreamer. I want to see something happening for them.
All right, let's take this call on the screen. Carisha Davis, she said, let's say you received documents last July. All documents have been uploaded. Just a call you're waiting on from the embassy. What's the other part of the question?
What's the question? Did some of it get cut off, Junior?
Yeah, no, that's all I see on the screen. Ask the other part of the question, Carisha, on YouTube. Big up the folks on YouTube. But watch us on YouTube as well, and also on they're starting to stream us in Aruba. Big up to Massive 103.
I saw your Aruba. How you like Aruba?
It's lovely, freaking lovely. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So you can say hi to the people.
You've been there before, or was this the first time?
No, I've been there before.
Hi, Aruba.
The people in Aruba. Hey. Yeah. So the people in St. Nicholas, they're in Aruba. They're locked on, and we're saying hi to the people all over Aruba in Massive 103.5. Learning about immigration. If you want to come here to the U.S., if you need information and you need a lawyer to take that to get you processed here in the U.S., the only Winter Funday is the lawyer you call. Yeah. Again, the number 813-815-529.
One of the neat.
Go ahead.
And the neat thing about Aruba with a lot of people in Aruba, we don't have a lot of immigration from Aruba to the United States at all. That's what I noticed. But I always tell the people in Aruba, because I know some parents are from like a Dutch country or USVI. I always say trace that back, because you can get those multiple passports. That's what I always say to my folks in Aruba. Just, kind of do a little tracing with that.
Yeah. Again, guys, the number that you call if you want to call in live, the number is 718-701-5720. That's 718-704-701-5720. Call us in live because we're taking your call. We have 5 more minutes. Funday, I know we had something also to speak about. If I could pull it up as it relates to, let me go back to the conversation. We spoke about the crisis at the border. Yeah.
We did. That's big going on. The amount of people are making their way towards the U.S. border. I think if you have family members back home, don't encourage them to come to the border at this time, because I think there's so much going on at the border, Junior, that it might be brutal. We know that over 13,000 children in the last month, in February alone, made their way towards the border. They've opened up, like the Dallas Convention Center is now a shelter. So anybody who kind of makes their way to the border now is going to get caught up in all of that madness. It's not healthy. The kids are in cages. They're separating them. Well, they did open up one family center, so they're going to try to keep families together. But for the most part, they are they're separating the children from the adults. So it's a really sad time with what's going on at the border. I encourage people, if you have family members that are coming in, have a chat with them. Like if they're fleeing something, like make sure they can articulate to Border Patrol what they're fleeing from.
Yeah.
And I had one client that told the Border Patrol he was fleeing from his girlfriend's mother.
Oh.
You can't I'm just saying, you gotta know how to articulate what you're fleeing from. And these are Caribbean folks that are coming up through the southern border. A lot of people just think it's just Hispanics coming up through there, but Caribbean folks are coming through the border as well. Haiti, a lot of people from Haiti is coming up through that border. Make sure you talk to your family members so they can understand what asylum is in the United States, what they should be fleeing from, the persecution. It can't be fleeing because they don't like their boss at work. That can't be it.
Right. All right, we got another caller on the line. Let's take this last call. Caller, you live. Where are you calling us from?
Hi, New York.
Hi, go ahead, New York.
Hi,
Speak a little louder. Speak a little louder, New York. We're not hearing you too clearly.
okay. What if you came in on a visitor's visa, you overstayed, you married, but you didn't file not until after a year, and you never paid taxes? What are your chances?
Your
When you do file?
your chances on
Yes.
getting a green card.
Yes.
Funday?
It should be fine. Those are not the things the service is going to look at. They're not going to look at whether you paid taxes or how long you took to file the application. So they're going to look more to the petitioner, the spouse, the person you're marrying. Are they in a position to sponsor you? They look to their taxes, not so. Like I always encourage undocumented individuals to pay taxes. They're not going to punish you for not paying taxes, right? But keep in mind, even with the new bill junior, they're going to look at whether you've been paying taxes. So those are some things to look at. But as it pertains to getting married, caller, they're not going to look so much at what you whether you're paying taxes or not. They're going to look to your spouse, and you should be fine to petition for a green card.
All right. Yeah. I guess the caller is listening on the other line. Let's take one last call again. The caller just hung up again. The question that Carissa Davis was asking, let's try to piece it together. All right. So let's say you receive a document last July. All documents have been uploaded. Just the call you're waiting on from the embassy. If you receive document last year, June, making it 1 year, what would happen after?
I know her. I understand her question.
Okay.
So Carissa, I know what you mean. You've gotten the NVC. You've opened up the portal. You've uploaded all your documents, and now you're waiting for your interview at the consular post. I started out the conversation, Junior and I, talking about all the consular posts being closed, and we had the restriction on travel. So there are two things that are kind of delaying that interview time. I would make sure to do just a little courtesy check with your consular post, like, hey, I'm still over here, I'm waiting. But 1 year is not unusual under the current circumstances with the restriction and also with COVID. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, hope so. Mary Peters, if you're not married and don't have a green card, but you're paying taxes.
You need something, Mary. You need either an employer if you're in good standing, employment-based, family-based, humanitarian. You need something more than just paying taxes. You need more. If you're, I don't know if you want to do, if you're here in good standing, you could probably try an employment route. But you need something.
All right. Guys, this is it for the Immigration Now show, Deanna Winter Fun Day, every Thursday. Again, we'd like to welcome and thank and big up the people in Aruba. Fun Day, it's always a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much. Fun Day, any last words you want to leave with?
keep I love what Doug Howard said, Junior, the fact that you and I are here every Thursday.
Yes,
Keep coming back and keep coming back because things are changing. We're gonna see the next 2 or 3 months there's gonna be a lot of changes in immigration law, and keep coming back. We'll have them for you.
absolutely, absolutely. And nobody else do it like that. I mean, nobody else. I mean, we we're here 130, 140 people. I don't think there's a bacchanal program for the 1,000 people, you know. Like for the people don't like information. I don't know why.
Because they have to face their reality, Junior. Because
Okay.
people remember, when this is a nervous time for people, and
Yeah,
when they come on here and they're talking about filing taxes, they don't want to hear that. They
right.
they don't want to hear go sit with a lawyer and talk about the elephant in the room.
Yes.
So some people just rather let me just stay here, let me just go to work, let me just come home, let me be. For a lot
Yeah.
of people, that's what it is.
That's for the same reason people drink, you know. They drink so they think their problem would go away.
It's gonna be there waiting.
Gonna be there waiting. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's gonna be there waiting, guys. I really hope, I really wish that we could change that mindset. That we could refocus our mind. We like the bacchanal, go on, all you like the information too now. This is good
Mhm.
information.
Mhm.
This is information you don't even have to pay money for. This is
Mhm.
information that coming to you straight in your living room and telling all you. You
Mhm.
don't get it like that. Bacchanal, Funde, Bacchanal, 1,000 people on the line.
Yeah, just dip on it. I can
That's it.
imagine.
Yeah, that's how it
You're
is.
welcome, Joan. Joan Duncan, you're welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, share this with your friend and invite them to come in. Right?
Hmm.
And Funde, your number and information one last time so everybody could contact you with their immigration questions.
And the only thing I want to add to Junior is reminding everybody to call their congressmen and women. I know as a Caribbean community, I want us to feel empowered. We can call them up and say, hey, remember to vote on the immigration bill. Whether they're Republican, more so if they're Republican, because we need 10 Republicans. But you all need to be finding out, Google who your local congressmen and women are, call them up and tell them to vote the right way on the immigration bill. Please. Me a beg on.
Yeah, Begono.
Me a beg on.
Yeah, Begono. Funde, we'll catch you again next Thursday, right here on Immigration Now. Peace out. We'll catch up. Bye bye. Yeah, guys, as I told you guys, it's this type of programs that we have to show up to. It's this type of program that we have to show up to. I could tell, like, who I'll see on what days, you know. Yeah. I could tell. Yeah, trust me. Bye. Linda and Charles, big up yourself. Thank you so much. To the people who appreciate this type of information, we thank you. And we urge you to don't just consume this information by yourself, right? We want you to share this information to your family and friends. And take down the Annie Winter Funding number and her website, make an appointment, get a consultation if you have immigration problems and issues, right? Don't treat this like the rum shop. You just go and drink and think that your problem will go away. It ain't going away. It's like going to the doctor. Some people don't like to go to the doctor because they hate the reality. You hate the reality. Hopefully we can change our mindset. All right, guys, thank you so much. And thanks to our sponsors and making sure that we stay on air. And you too could be a sponsor, which is, we call it a supporter, right? You can be a supporter of Ridealong. Only costs about $4.99 a month, right? Click that link right there, boom, and become a supporter, guys. $4.99 a month. It helps us do what we have to do, stay on air, and of course, put some gas in the tank and help people whenever they call us. It's simple. You become a part of the Ridealong support group, supporters. Also, we got to thank you and tell you about the if you have the need for any production services, professional streaming production services, you could give Ridealong family a call. The number that you call is 718-701-5720. That's professional streaming services by Ridealong Media Group LLC. You call the number 212-809-4324. That's 212-809-4324. Professionally, like for weddings, funerals, virtual event, concerts, and all these great things, you gotta call 212-809-4324. That's 212-809-4324.
have to humble. Right now, you're tougher than steel. On this battlefield, you're tougher than steel. Shoulders to the wheel, you're tougher than steel. On this battlefield, you're tougher than steel. Yo, just show me some strength. Don't make them show me.
Again, guys, if you have any and all immigration questions, you got to check out Diane Winter Fund Day on our website. Call or make a consultation, and also pass on the information to your friends. Stick it on your fridge, share it all over. Diane Winter Fund Day, the number one immigration attorney probably in the world. Yeah, the world. It's not like her.
Everything after humble. Everything after humble. Strength.
Are you fed up of your mask or your foggy face shield? Introducing the Fashion Shield from callallpronow.com. Keep your hairdo intact, your makeup flawless, and be fully protected. Get the Fashion Shield now. Call 516-387-4246 or visit callallpronow.com.
Let's face it, this is not normal times, but life, it must go on. And with all these continued restrictions on get-togethers, you need a streaming company like Ridealong Media Group LLC, one that can stream to all your family members to the comfort of their own homes, both privately or publicly, you decide. One who understands your privacy, one who simply cares. So for that wedding, funeral, public or private event, choose the professional production company with the experience and quality guaranteed. Family can travel? Inquire about our seamless remote participant option. Thinking of streaming your virtual event? We handle it all. From multi-camera video production to streaming, post-production, editing, and more via Zoom, YouTube, Facebook, or any platform required. Call us and speak to our experienced professional team. 212-809-4324. That's 212-809-4324. Ridealong Media Group LLC. We're here when you need us.
Feeling hungry, grab a snack. Caribbean food delight. Jamaican patties, light and flaky. Caribbean food delight. Taste the difference. Caribbean food delight. Grab a patty, take a bite. Caribbean food delight. Quick and easy, grab a patty, take a bite. Caribbean food delight.
Oh yeah. Hey, I got some good news for you. Looking for a passionate immigration lawyer with experience that spans over 2 decades? Someone trusted that serves immigrant families just like yours? Well, look no more. Now you can benefit from her personal and professional experience. Diane Winter Fund Day. Schedule a consultation now and get assistance with your immigration journey. Specialize in adjustment of status, B1 business visa, B2 visitor's visa, consular processing, deportation defense, naturalization, and more. Give us a call today at 813-815-3529. That's 813-815-3529 or online at winterimmigration.com. Attorney Diane Winter Fund Day. Law done differently. Come on, this is your opportunity to tap into the $7.3 trillion industry in this COVID time. Get interactive, hands-on in the Forex and crypto market. Educate yourself in this financial industry. All of this is possible right now with a multi-source income generator. This program will allow you to learn while you earn in this lucrative decentralized industry. Take advantage of this trading academy, personal development, create multi-source stream income, trading ideas in this global market, get discount travel with your own portal, bonus token backed by bitcoins, and so much more. For more information, contact Kristen Alexis at 347-834-2852 or Marisha Dash at 646-529-6570. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity of a lifetime. Call now.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, Hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.